This is Mr. Eugene, and today we're examining something that makes married men feel crazy. Something so backwards, so contradictory, so completely irrational that when you point it out, people act like you're imagining it. But you're not imagining it. It's real. It's everywhere. And it's destroying marriages quietly. Here's the pattern. Watch a wife interact with strangers. The barista at Starbucks gets a warm smile. The mailman gets pleasant conversation. Her co-workers get kindness and patience. Her boss gets respect. Her friends get emotional support and genuine interest. Random people at the store get courtesy and consideration. Now watch that same wife interact with her husband. He gets eye rolls, dismissive responses, irritation at simple questions, sighs when he talks, interrupted constantly, spoken to like he's an annoyance, treated with less courtesy than she gives the person bagging her groceries. The man who provides her home, her security, her lifestyle, the man who committed his life to her, the man who works for her, protects her, stays loyal to her. That man gets treated worse than the stranger who makes her coffee. This isn't occasional. This isn't just bad days. This is the daily operating pattern in millions of marriages. The people who matter least get treated best. The person who matters most gets treated worst. And when you point this out, when you name it clearly, the response is always the same. That's not true. You're exaggerating. Marriage is just comfortable so we don't have to be fake. But comfort isn't an excuse for disrespect. And what's happening isn't comfort, it's contempt. Stay with me. This pattern reveals something fundamental about modern marriage that most people don't want to face. The pattern in detail, what it actually looks like. Let me be specific about how this plays out, because once you see it clearly, you can't unsee it. With strangers, the performance. Watch her at the coffee shop. The barista asks how her day is going. She smiles. "Oh, it's going well. Thanks for asking." Her tone is warm. Her body language is open. She makes eye contact. She's pleasant, engaging, the kind of person you'd enjoy serving. The order gets slightly wrong. Maybe they gave her a medium instead of a large. Her response, "Oh, no problem at all." These things happen. Could you just remake it when you have a chance? No rush. Patience, understanding, grace. The barista feels good about this interaction. This customer was nice, easy, pleasant to deal with. Watch her with her coworkers. Someone asks for help with something. She's helpful, considerate. "Of course, let me show you how to do that," she explains clearly. Patiently, no irritation, no sighing, no acting like they're bothering her. Someone makes a mistake that affects her work. She handles it diplomatically. "Hey, I think there might have been a miscommunication on this. Can we go over it so we're on the same page?" Professional, respectful, solution-focused. Her coworkers think she's great, helpful, team player, pleasant person to work with, watch her with friends. A friend is upset about something. She listens, actually listens, gives her full attention, puts her phone down, makes supportive comments, validates her friend's feelings, offers help if needed. The friend feels heard, supported, valued. This is a good friend who cares about her. With her husband, the reality. Now watch that same woman interact with her husband. He comes home from work, says hello, mentions something about his day. She's on her phone, barely looks up. Not really listening, not really present. Her tone suggests his talking is interrupting something more important. He asks a simple question. "Do we have plans this weekend?" She sighs, audibly, like the question is exhausting. "I already told you about this." She didn't. Or she mentioned it once 3 weeks ago and expects him to remember perfectly. Her tone suggests he's stupid for asking, that keeping track of the schedule is obvious, and his failure to know is a personal failing. He offers to help with something. "I can take care of that if you want." Her response, "No, you'll just do it wrong." Dismissive. No appreciation for the offer. Just immediate rejection implying he's incompetent. He tries to share something he's interested in. A project at work. Something he's learning. A thought he had. She's clearly not interested. Gives minimal responses. Changes the subject as soon as possible. Or worse, interrupts him mid-sentence to talk about something else entirely. The message, what you have to say isn't important. What you think isn't interesting. I don't actually care to engage with your thoughts. He makes a minor mistake. Forgets something small. Leaves something out. Her reaction is immediate frustration. An eye roll. A comment about how she has to do everything. A passive-aggressive remark about his incompetence. The barista made a mistake with her coffee. She was gracious, understanding, patient, Her husband makes a mistake and gets treated like he's deliberately trying to ruin her day. The contrast nobody wants to acknowledge. Let me make the comparison explicit, side by side, so there's no ambiguity about what's actually happening. Scenario 1. Service worker makes a mistake. The coffee order is wrong. The delivery is late. The checkout person is slow. Her response: patience, understanding, no problem, smiles, grace, recognition that mistakes happen, people are doing their best, no need to make them feel worse. Scenario 1. Husband makes a mistake. He forgets to stop at the store. He's late getting home. He misunderstood something she said. Her response: irritation, frustration, sighing, comments about having to do everything, making him feel incompetent, bringing it up later as evidence he doesn't care. The stranger gets grace, the husband gets condemnation. Scenario 2. Friend needs to talk. Friend calls upset about something, needs to vent, needs support, needs someone to listen. Her response: puts everything down, gives full attention, listens patiently, validates feelings, offers support, stays on the phone as long as needed. I'm here for you. Scenario 2. Husband needs to talk. He's stressed about work, wants to process something, needs to think out loud, needs support. Her response: half listening while scrolling phone, minimal responses, clearly not engaged, might offer quick fix advice without actually understanding the issue, or tells him to figure it out. I can't solve your problems for you. The friend gets emotional support. The husband gets told to handle it himself. Scenario 3. Interacting in public, out with friends, at a social gathering, at church, at a work event. Her behavior: pleasant, smiling, engaging, laughs easily, shows interest in what people are saying, makes eye contact, positive energy, the kind of person people enjoy being around. Scenario 3. Interacting at home. Just the two of them. Normal evening, no audience, no one to perform for. Her behavior: on phone, minimal eye contact, short responses, irritable tone, complaining about things, pointing out what he's doing wrong, no warmth, no engagement, no indication she actually enjoys his company. The public gets her best self. The husband gets whatever's left. Why this happens: the ugly truth: this pattern exists for specific reasons, and the reasons reveal something uncomfortable about how modern wives view marriage and husbands. He's already locked in. When she's interacting with strangers, with coworkers, with friends, these relationships are voluntary, they can end. If she treats the barista terribly, the barista might refuse service. If she treats coworkers badly, it affects her professional reputation. If she treats friends poorly, they'll stop being friends. There are consequences: social consequences, professional consequences, relationship consequences, but her husband is locked in, married, committed, legally and socially bound. In her mind, often unconsciously, he can't leave easily, so there are no consequences for treating him poorly. She can be dismissive, disrespectful, contemptuous, and he'll still be there tomorrow, still providing, still committed, still married to her. This creates a perverse incentive. The people who can leave get treated well to keep them around. The person who can't leave easily gets treated poorly because there's no risk. She doesn't fear losing him. She takes him for granted, so she doesn't maintain the same standards of courtesy and respect. He doesn't require the performance. With strangers, she's performing, presenting the version of herself she wants the world to see: pleasant, kind, reasonable, together. This performance takes effort. It's managed. With her husband, she drops the performance. He sees the unfiltered version, the irritable, impatient version that exists when nobody's watching. She frames this as being real or being comfortable, but there's a difference between being comfortable and being contemptuous. You can be real without being dismissive. You can be comfortable without being rude. You can drop the full performance without treating your partner worse than strangers, but she doesn't. Because in her mind, he should accept her at her worst. She resents what he represents. This is the darkest part. Often unconsciously, she resents him, resents that she's married, resents that her options are limited, resents that she has responsibilities, resents that her life isn't what she imagined. The strangers represent freedom, brief interactions with no commitment. Her husband represents the commitment, the responsibility, the daily reality. So strangers get her best self, and he gets her worst. What this reveals about modern marriage, this pattern, isn't just about courtesy. It reveals deeper problems. Marriage has become obligation, not partnership. She treats strangers well because those interactions are voluntary. She treats her husband poorly because marriage feels like obligation. Once she has commitment, maintaining relationship quality doesn't feel necessary. He's utility, not person. Strangers get treated like people. Her husband gets treated like an appliance that should perform without needing appreciation. The priorities are backwards. The person who matters most gets treated worst. The person who matters least gets treated best. This is not sustainable. Why men tolerate this? Most men don't address it. They think it's normal. They fear her reaction. They still love her and hope it will change, so they tolerate it. What this costs him, it costs his dignity, his investment, his love. Over time, being treated worse than strangers erodes everything. What needs to change your husband deserves your best, not your leftovers. Being comfortable is not an excuse for contempt. He notices the contrast every single time. Final thoughts. The person bagging your groceries gets courtesy. Your husband gets contempt. That is backwards. And it's happening everywhere. The question is whether you care enough to change it. Drop a comment if this resonates. Men, do you get treated worse than the barista? Women, can you see this pattern honestly? Subscribe for the uncomfortable truths about marriage that everyone feels but nobody says.